going on? I thought I'd just make a video going over what I perceive to be the easiest way to enter on the 5 seconds. I know this has been spoke about quite a lot, but I just wanted to make a really quick video that's sort of straight to the point of how you can basically get your stop loss size down without having to do too much extra work as far as refining zones, etc. I was just doing some back testing this morning and seen a good example of this, so I thought, why not just show it, quickly go over it. I don't want to waffle too much, as I want this to be just some value that you can take away. So I'll zoom out just to show where we're at within price. We've got a 15-minute supply zone here. This isn't the cleanest of supplies, I will admit, but we obviously had a sweep here. And it's an unmitigated wick as far as I'm concerned. Until the 50% is mitigated, we can obviously still come back and tap into it. I believe it's a 16-minute wick. You could say this is the inducement for it, as this is quite a clean push away. But anyway, we've come into the 15-minute zone, so we obviously know we're looking for a flip and a chalk. So I'll just show where our flip is for anyone that can't see it. For me, we've obviously got this demand range here, which we tap into this bit of it, the wick, which is actually what broke price with a body. So for me, this wick is our supply that we can trade from if we come back into it. So normally, if you were trading just the 1 minute, you would stick a limit on here at say 1.5. You'd probably go 2 pips to try and cover the wick properly. It's 1.5. Yeah, you're not covered there. I'll delete this because this was this was from earlier, just so we can see a bit more of what I'm on about. So we tap into the 1 minute POI, and then we can drop down to the 5 seconds. And that's all it really is. It's once you come back into your 1 minute POI after your chalk and flip, etc., you just look for the exact same thing again, and it filters out. I know a lot of people take a lot of losses trying to pick the 1 minute refined zones within 15-minute POIs, which can be a bit more difficult, especially if you're just starting out using the 5 seconds. So I feel like this is a good way to sort of get used to it. And it's also, it's one of the entry models I use quite a lot. I don't know, it's just a lot easier, I guess, if you haven't refined your zones. But anyway, I'm waffling again. We get our V-shaped recovery, tap into the demand here, then fail to push up and break again. So obviously we've just had the same thing happen on the 1 minute, come back in, so 1 minute is now bearish, and the 5 seconds is also now bearish. So as soon as we get this 5 second chop here, we can either have a sell limit on here, or sell stop, sorry, or we can just market execute when we come back into this supply range, or we can just hit market execute here, here, here. You get the point. You can basically just enter because you know it's aligned at this point. So the 5 seconds, or sorry, the 1 minute, we should at least break here following 1 minute order flow. So I believe price does, but I'll show where you get risk off. So 4.5 R. So you've got risk off at this point. So I'll jump up to the 1 minute. But you can see how everything's built from the 15, obviously, being that we are bullish at this point. 4 hours still bearish. So your targets on this trade would be however you want to play it, really, but a bit more conservative. But obviously the 1 minute just does its thing and then continues to drop. And then this is another thing just to point out. If you didn't get in here, we can obviously follow these ranges along. So we've got this supply range, tap back into it, we then break again. We've got this supply range which we tap. We don't fully mitigate it until here. So tap it. I think so. Yeah, just about. Maybe not. Either way, we can still take this. But yeah, if you didn't get in on any of them, you can just follow it all the way down. I'll see if there's any entries here. You definitely get one here by the looks of it. Sorry, I've ended up going on a tangent here. I didn't mean for this. I meant to just show the entry. See if we get one here. So this is obviously our 1 minute POI, because until the objective's complete, we're going to respect all these 1 minute ranges, and we've already seen that get respected so far. Yeah, so here we go. Tap it back into the 1 minute. We've swept into it, so that's already looking really clean. Gave a V-shaped recovery here. No real reaction to the demand, just gets blown through. But this is where you could have a sell stop sitting here after you see this, or for me personally, once we break here, sorry, I forgot to draw now. Once we get that chalk, which would actually be here, I don't want to confuse anyone. But once we get that, and we come back into this overall range, I'll be happy just smashing by there with a 1 pip stop loss. Because none of this really did anything. And then, yeah, again, if you didn't get in there, we break again, sell stop, and yeah, and then I believe price just goes from here. Yeah. And obviously, again, the 1 minute is now bearish, so you can follow these ranges down. Looking for entries. Again, the reason we can be so confident with this 5 second entries is because the 1 minute is already aligned. We're not coming into a 15 minute, 1 minute zone and then just taking the 5 seconds. So this is just a lot more conservative way to trade it. That gets wicked, obviously all this liquidity built up. But yeah, I've ended up waffling here. I hope there was some sort of value you could take away from that. And yeah, catch you on a bit.